Welcome, welcome. Over the Top Podcast Sports. It's your boy Big Hank here with this podcast Over the Top Podcast Sports crew. What's up, Q? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, 15 points in a game 7. Winner go home. That's your MVP.
Okay, Big B, how's it going, man? What's going on with you, man?
It's good, bro.
you know, and we all also got the playmaker with us. G, what's going on, G?
Oh man, I'm great.
Okay. Well, we're down to the final four, but you know what we gotta talk about a little bit. Let's talk about this thing a little bit. You know, you know. I'm gonna go with you. You little old school. You little old school. You know where I'm going. If you get your hand, if you get your hand smacked for because the stove was hot the first time, then you put the hand back on the stove.
Yeah, if you're hard headed.
All right, what's your thoughts, man? See, what do we do with John? What do we do with him?
You know what? It ain't even about John at this point. You know, maybe I'm just too old school. I'm different. I'm not that far different from the old school, I guess. But it's not even on John. It's on his parents. At this point, it's on his parents. They stopped parenting that boy when he became a millionaire. He became the adult. He the leader of the family. He tells them what to do. He don't have nobody to listen to. It's his direction and that's it. And you can look at it, you can tell his dad is enjoying the limelight. His dad is enjoying the fruits of I guess you could say his labor. But at the end of the day, man, John, I'm gonna be honest, I think he need a year.
A year.
What you think, Ness? Playmaker. What think you? Jump in, Q. They're like stroking nerve with you. Jump in. What you think?
A year is
Yeah.
kind of crazy for something that if he's in the correct state is legal for him to do. I even say the 40 game said is
valid point. I think we missed the mark. Hey, because I was on it today too.
But I will say to Bear's point, that is our parenting. You do not see Lonzo or LaMelo doing anything crazy. LiAngelo did one thing, and he still occasionally get a G League tryout every year. He don't do nothing crazy. That is definitely parenting.
What dad do? That daddy ball almost got them fired because he run off at the lip too much.
Both his sons were number 2 overall picks. He made it, and then once they made what he do, he's on the sideline. You don't hear too much from him, even though how loud he is. You don't hear too much, and that's it. You don't hear too much from him. We were worried, he'd be all in the way, this and that. He's out the way. The children are one's doing great. The other one can't stay healthy. The third one's still trying.
But you don't understand.
So
yeah, I'll ask you a question. If your son become the breadwinner, do you follow him or are you still the head of your household?
Well, a couple of things before I answer that question. A couple of things. So, how old is Ja?
23.
Yeah, so his mama and daddy ain't signing his name no more. So he's able to make his own decision. So I once you get a certain age, that's no longer parenting. That's on you to figure out how you're going to survive in this world. If his parents missed the mark, then that's unfortunate. But he still got to learn how to survive on his own in this world. His parents ain't gonna be there forever. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, yes, it's not necessarily if it's against the law or anything like that, because if it was against the law, he wouldn't be parading around, he'd be in jail. The thing is it goes against the NBA's code of conduct, and that is the law that the NBA follows and their players should follow. So that's what the problem is. It has nothing to do with if it's illegal. It's not a legal issue. It is does it go against what the NBA has established for its code of conduct for its players? So that's the issue. I'm sorry, Hank. What was your question?
Well, I'm gonna come back on it behind you, but my question was because money drives most relationships. If your son was the breadwinner, is he still, do he become the shot caller of your house, or are you still the head of your house?
So that's the problem right there. Inside of the family, the person who's making the most money does not have to be the head of the household. The head of the household is not dictated by money.
So I mean, what you gonna tell this man? Clean his room now, Pop. You get out. I pay this bill. I pay this bill, Pop. You don't pay this bill.
There's a certain level of respect. There's a certain level of respect that a man should have that everyone should have for the head of the household, regardless of the income factor, regardless of the size factor. If that is the head of the household, people follow the head of the household because of his position and not because of what he has.
Gotcha. But I do want to. What's going on in the game, Quentin? Cause what's going on in the game?
They don't have. The Denver ran the slowest fast break to get Joker in the paint by himself for a layup. We only got one big one for us, so I don't know what Davis was doing.
And
we only worried about offensive rebound right now.
So then my last thing I'm gonna say about Q, and I guess I'm leave it alone. Cause I look at layman's terms. I work at a company called Cravat. And Cravat have a policy of a no drug policy. So with the no drug policy, if you violate the first time, they may no smack your hand, suspending you. But if you violate it again, they're gonna fire you. So you don't have a job. I mean, I think this is a prime example of his employer have already told him. What's the score, and then he gonna still do it again. So good luck to him.
Counterpoint.
Go ahead, babe.
Here's the thing in a nutshell, and I know I started out saying about his parents and whatnot, and I hate to keep referring to how I saw things firsthand, and I've seen this play out and all this and that. One thing when KG signed for all that money, the whole dynamic changed in his family. Everybody made him the head of the family. He became the head. Everybody came to him. Everybody looked at him. It was like he made decisions that wasn't even his decisions to be made. When you look at what's going on with Ja, his dad is more or less a friend right now. He's not a father. And I'm not saying in the context of disciplining him as a child. It's still a situation when we become adults and our dads are around, they're still there to smack us upside the head and say, "Hey, boy, what you thinking about? What you doing?" But his dad too busy drunk. His dad too busy on television to give him some direction. He has none. Mama on the phone calling you to beat up kids. So I mean, he has no direction. But besides that, that was my thing. You only have so many strikes before they start to take what you work for, and they're not gonna give you a heads up. They're not gonna give you a warning. But this is what I know: if he has an agent that's even worth it, his agent is telling him, "Ja, you gotta act better. You gotta do better." And if he's not even paying the agent any attention, what even makes us think that he's paying the league some attention? Because his mindset is he's untouchable. The boy is ignorant, man. You can look at the whole Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, I do believe they could have benefited from a legit veteran, even though they had Steven Adams and he tried. They did not want to hear it. So it's a difference in not having or just wanting to go on your own. He had a players only meeting and they totally ignored him. And he's been there. He's done the work. He's a proven veteran. And they ignored this man. Dude,
yeah, I always thought that team was very immature when they were surprised. Y'all guys are very immature guys.
God is out of control. And the reason why I said a year, because guess what? If he don't get a year to sit down now, he's gonna get a year to sit down later.
Well, I'm not a sport. We're a sports fan, but we know he's lucky he's not in that National Football League. The football league would have slapped the door on him. But you think about suspension on the off season, however you see that. But look at other players, man. Look at Ja, look at Zion, look at look at Ben. These guys, the attitude is so different, so fickle. What do you think about that? Is this the new kid we're dealing with, or is this an isolated incident?
I got that one. So on everyone knows Paul George. Paul George got a podcast, and him and DeMar DeRozan were talking about that. And I mean, they said there's a good 30 to 40% players in the league who don't care about basketball, like at all. Now, I'm pretty sure the two to the three players you mentioned, I'm pretty sure Zion cares about basketball. Ja, I don't know. Ben Simmons, I think he fell out of love the moment he got on Twitter after that Hawks series. But yeah, they said there's a good 40% players who don't care about basketball. And then if you go back to when LeBron tweeted Bronny could outplay a good amount of players in the league, it's probably because they like basketball more. When you like the game more than somebody, eventually you're gonna outplay that person who doesn't care about it. And that's kind of what we're seeing when
I agree with that. But I would love to come on here.
When you get those seniors that spent 4 years in college outplaying the chosen one who only spent 1 year in college, 2 years in college, that's what you see. Those people with 4 years, they love the game of basketball. That one and done, they probably want the money. And they're good at it.
Well, not just that. Even when you talk to the guys that go play college ball, girls and guys, athletes go play college ball, they say at that point it becomes business. And once it becomes that business, how long do you stay away? How long? If the fun kind of leaves itself. But if you going to leave with the money, I guess it's more the money to support your family or the love of the game. So I don't know. But anyway, we gonna keep it pushed. I want to talk about one more non-actual sport before we jump in, because I was seeing this thing on CNN today. I see this thing on CNN today where you got parents actually fist fighting the referees at Little League baseball games. So, but now for full transparency, I did get put out of one. I did get kicked out of one game with Quentin was little. One game for full transparency. It wasn't my fault, but he has to go back to jail. But I'm gonna ask you guys, man, do parents take it too serious on the Little League level to the point where you have to fight the official for bad calls? Is that an issue of parenting, over parenting, or what? What do you say, G? Then we go to you, Bell.
Well, I think it's a couple of things. I think you got some people are looking at their children to be the next Michael Jordan. And if you as a referee are stunning that growth of me benefiting from being a millionaire, then I may need to talk to you in an aggressive manner. So you have some of that. And then I think you have some people who are very protective of their kids. And just because their kid got a little elbow and it goes a little bit unknown, they feel like they need to protect their young kid. So those, I think you have two different types of parents that are out there doing that. I think you have some that are just overly protective and don't want anybody to touch their kid at all. And then I think you have some that are looking at a payday a couple of years from now.
What's your response, B?
I gotta agree with Playmaker. I just feel like listen, parents are not putting their kids in these little league sports, and especially like AAU and stuff. They're not doing it for the fun. They're doing it for it's an investment. That they're looking for the payoff or the eventual not payoff, what they can eventually gain as far as a contract. So therefore it's making it hard and whatnot. I'm wanting to say, when you walk inside these when you go into these gyms, when it's dealing with little league sports and AAU sports and stuff like that, you walking on real tender ground. And yeah, I agree with him. It's just
we even in church leagues. I didn't see church leagues, man. It get I mean, you know, you got the deacons over there cussing and they're fussing and carrying up. It gets passionate. It gets passionate.
When we went to one of our goddaughter's basketball games, and they're going against that one team that had that little kid with a dread. And you know, we just fans of basketball, so we watching them play. That kid come down, he Euro step lay, meaning that we over here, we doing it with him. His aunt first, I said, nah, don't start cheering for him now. Nah, we went like, whoa, first off, these are second and third graders. Why are you getting all upset that we cheering for both? Are we cheering for your nephew? But yeah, some parents get a little crazy, and also man, that one you may only got thrown out of one, but there was a few that you almost got thrown out of.
Well, I was transparent with one. But they were cheating the system, man. They were cheating the system, man.
Have you ever seen a referee kick another referee out?
Yeah, I mean, they were cheating the system, guys. I mean, it wasn't me. The cause was bad, man. The cause was bad. As soon as I stepped down and said, I threw my hands up. You out of here for what? I didn't say nothing to the man. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm glad I'm not a little league parent no more, because I have seen it get heated out there. And I'm just, but does that pay off? Have you ever seen that type of intensity? And either anybody, have you seen that type of intensity from a child from little league where the parents was on them actually pay off and they make it to the league?
Nah, you know what? The sad part about it, what I've always seen out of those kids, especially the kids that dominate little league, they fall off.
Yeah.
They fall off. It's almost like, what happened to you? You were good then, but it's like when everybody catch up, they fall off. But that's because you believe the hype at the beginning. You know, if you believe the hype, you're not going to work hard. You're not going to do the stuff that you're supposed to do. So
I've seen it one time, and that was LeVar. That's the only person I've seen. If you look at that Facebook show they had, and if you watch some of LaMelo's AU games, LeVar will get on his sons. But two of them made it to the league. So that's the only one I've seen work. Otherwise, haven't seen it work.
It was funny. I was getting on Quentin to make him hustle better, and the coach got mad at me. Whoa, dude, I got him. I ain't yelling at your kid. But I know I need to say, I know I need to say this guy to get him motivated. So let me pair it. Let me pair. I think a lot of it is my intensity over on Quentin, kind of getting him to, do better or perform better. But okay, and that's all basketball, guys. We're down to the Final Four. We missed a couple of weeks. Any highlights we missed? I know we missed.
Is this your MVP? Is this MVP? He goes out there, puts up this. His running mate puts up 9, and then goes to the press conference and says, "Well, if the team helped us, we wouldn't be in that situation." They were the worst 2 starters on the floor. But then so he did a bad game, then takes no accountability. That's your MVP.
I'm gonna take this one. Yeah, it is. Right now, I feel like Joel Embiid is being led. He's somewhat blinded right now. I've always kind of felt on the flip side of things that Harden when things don't go his way, I feel like he's always been that cancer. He's that hidden cancer. He has to have he has to have the upper hand on the coach and whatnot. I wasn't surprised to see Doc go.
No,
I feel like Joel signed off on that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I knew Harden wasn't going to have the best game, so I wouldn't be surprised if Joel didn't buy into it and whatnot into the future, because they had that conversation. They had that conversation that it's time to move on from Doc, meaning them two had that conversation.
Well, I don't think Doc was the total problem. I'm with you. I think Doc is total problem. I think Doc was the total problem. But I let playmaker speak for itself. But what? But what happened? I mean,
Bron had the open lane, dribbling, in front of him about the two-hand windmill, them balls slipped from his hands.
Well, he actually looked human. Ball just slipped out his hand. I mean, you have to see it.
You want to reverse it. Oh.
But yeah, it's just.
So I think your boy Harden look I think he looking to be shopped around now. No. That's the last thing today say he may opt out his contract. Look, he looking to be shopped next year.
But you know, one thing about Harden, he's good with the GM. That's his guy.
And then Tony his guy too.
Yeah, those are his guys.
I thought he had it in for I thought he had it for Doc last year. I thought Doc was on the seat last year.
The sad part about Doc is Doc gonna be remembered as the one that always got to the door but couldn't crack the threshold. That's how he's gonna be remembered.
In that play.
But it's not.
The thing about Doc Rivers, and me and Hank had this conversation earlier this week. When I break down Doc Rivers' squads the last couple of years, and I don't know if it's him and the GM that he's worked with, they don't really fill out the roster to be a championship team. They may get a decent starting five, and then they'll run that starting five into the ground, and then you'll see what you see and deep in the playoffs, a game 7, everybody tired, and they can't perform at an elite level because they can't substitute people in to kind of keep the momentum going. When I look at who's the backup center for Embiid and how much time does that man get on the court, I'm like, you running Embiid too hard. Before we said he wasn't in condition, he came back in condition. Yet, in order for them to be successful, he has to play heavy minutes and has to dominate every game. And when he doesn't do that, you get a failed product. I blame him. And then also the coaching aspect I look at is Embiid is one of the most dominating big men in the league, yet you don't see him in the paint as often as I think he should be in the paint. I think he should be in the paint pretty much the whole game. So I hate to see Doc go. But I thought Doc messed up because he didn't fill out the roster the way he's supposed to, and he didn't get the ball in the paint to Embiid enough.
He gonna find a job though. I think he's gonna land somewhere. Doc ain't gonna be unemployable for so long. I think he'd be fine. I hate it before he got fired. But the dumbest fire I thought was Monty Williams. What I don't understand that. I don't understand the motive behind that. Yeah, who do I go to? Man, what's the motive behind Monty Williams firing? Where go you play too bad jump on? What's the motive behind Monty Williams firing?
Well, Quinn was about to say something.
Go ahead, Quinn.
So we had this conversation earlier about first, like you can't fire Monty off of failed success when as much as much as I say Durant didn't have that good of a playoff series, despite his stats say he didn't play that good. He did. He was only on the team for including the playoff 20 games is how many he played. So you can't blame Monty for that. You uproot his team for one player, and then you fire him. That's on management. You gotta, if you're gonna uproot his team, give him another year with Kevin Durant, with Devin Booker. I don't know what they're gonna do with Chris Paul or DeAndre Ayton, but you can't fire him off of that, especially if he got you to the finals 2 years. They got you to the finals 2 years ago, and then last year, well, you ran to Luka Doncic was just in rare form that series. And I thought the two coaches from that 2021 finals, both of them fired. And that's management.
Bear, what do you think about that Phoenix firing, man? Be frank.
You're on mute, Bear.
Bear, we think about that Phoenix firing, man.
Okay, the Phoenix firing. Man, listen, I laughed so hard out of disbelief because I just feel like I don't know what they're looking for. Is you know, you made the trade, you basically traded everything. And this was to me, this was a bad trade. It was such a bad trade that Monty Williams even said himself that he's never cried after a trade. He cried after this trade. And so to me, that kind of tells me it was kind of bad in the sense of you gave up so much, and he did, and it told on them on how much they gave up. So you gave up that much, and then, you know, the showing that they had against Denver, and then you fire him. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna hold it together, because now you're looking at an older Chris Paul that you actually may need to shop. Then you're looking at KD. That's, you know,
disgruntled
his reason for coming.
Night disgruntled.
Yeah, his reason for coming to Phoenix was Monty and whatnot.
Night disgruntled.
So I mean, I just think it was crazy. But guess what? Either Milwaukee or and I think Milwaukee will be a lovely fit for Monty. And they're gonna sit back and they're gonna grab him, and Giannis is gonna be so happy and win a championship behind that Phoenix gonna sit back and look. They're gonna look dumb and whatnot.
Well, Monty can go anywhere. He go to Philly and put some work in. Monty's a good coach. So
man, listen. To me, Philly is gonna go D'Antoni.
Yeah. If Harden's there, they going D'Antoni.
The first name out the mouth is where they usually go, and they're going D'Antoni. And to me, D'Antoni, I don't understand why people invest in D'Antoni.
No defense at all. We just running and shooting, guys. We ain't gonna set up no defense. We ain't gonna
what's crazy?
We just gonna run up and down the floor and shoot. No, we go.
He gets credit for. I mean, he was that Suns coach. He was Harden's coach. Now that Suns team didn't go anywhere. He got 2 MVPs. Didn't go anywhere. And then Houston. I mean, they ran into the Warriors all those years.
No, they didn't play no defense all those years, and they got booted. That's what happened. That what happened to Houston.
I remember. Now they kept running. They kept running every year. Houston ran to Golden State. They ran to Curry and Golden State, and then they ran to KD like twice. KD and Golden State twice.
Speaking of Golden State, Draymond said today that the reason Golden State lost because he smacked your boy Poole at the beginning of the season.
That's actually.
I'm trying to figure this out. Whose fault is that? That's Steve Kerr issue. By that time, y'all put a settle there, and we gonna go outside and fight in the back and come back. We gotta win the championship. What do you think about that play, man? What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, It's just like life. I mean, you can shake hands and say, we squashed the beef, but every time you see that person, you can still feel a certain kind of way. And so, yeah, they may, did the smiles in front of TV, maybe go to the club and turn up a little bit. But in the back of his mind, he like, this guy stole me. He took my job and it's been blasted around TV and got like 3 million likes. And people are looking at me like, look at this thing right here. So
hey,
yeah.
but back in the day, we said that on the back, we said that on the court. We squared up and then made the best man win.
Social media, it wasn't getting no 3 million likes.
That's another thing. The biggest person involved.
But the sad part about it is, he should have punched him again.
The sad thing about it is, did Poole get a lick in?
No.
Like you said.
And his play showed too. He played like garbage almost the whole playoffs too for that.
Because somebody's riding them saying, hey man, you couldn't swing back?
Yeah. It may be loony. Boy, he wouldn't smack me like that. I bet he wouldn't smack me.
You know what, man? Hey, for real, from the way I hear his attitude is and how he carries himself, man, I can almost understand Draymond hitting him. But my thing is, let's go back to the old school and let's fight it out if we have to or whatever. I kind of understand why Draymond's saying that cost him the championship, because there's no bond there, and it probably set Poole's attitude, and it was probably a lot different than what it was last year, the year they won the championship. But at the end of the day, man, you can't let that stuff ride. You can't just let it fester. You got to go. You got to drop it. You got to move forward. And that's what everybody thinking that was done. They were thinking, hey, we're moving forward. In actuality, the whole time he holding a grudge.
You got to break it up now. I mean, because one thing we know, if you let pause and seep in your crew, it destroys it. Do you pick up the team or you just get rid of Poole?
Well,
I'm gonna be honest.
Draymond's a free agent. Draymond's a free agent.
You trade Draymond, I mean, you breaking up the squad.
I don't think you break it up. I think they're done.
I mean, you trade Draymond, you might well look to shop Clay.
Clay now played worse than Jordan Poole the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna trade him, you might well bust up the band and let the children.
The best thing Clay can do now is he can go to management, sit down, and have a heart-to-heart and say, listen, and he might want to bring some tears along with him and bring his rings and tell them, I know I'm not who I used to be, and I know some nights I only get 7 points, but please I don't want to go anywhere. Because
he gonna take Andre Iguodala's spot. He gonna take AI spot and sit on the bench.
He might as well
and play every game.
Let's be honest. Clay going anywhere else now? He coming off the bench. He's not a starter. He's coming off the bench, and then he eventually just gonna fade away off into the sunset. So he can beg to stay in Golden State and take a cut. And be the hero that he is, or he can just fade off into the sunset. That's on him. That's all Iguodala doing. Iguodala fell in love with Golden State, and he said, "Hey, however y'all want to do me, y'all want to trade me for a season, and as long as I can come back, you can treat me like a dog, sir. But I just want to be part of it."
What's your thoughts on that play?
Well, a couple of things before I go back to that. So. Not only did you have Poole get hit in the jaw, Poole got paid last year. And some people say that, once you get your money flowing, you don't feel like you got to prove yourself. You don't feel like you got to put in the same work that you did to earn the contract. And they say that that was part of his problem, not necessarily because he got smacked in the mouth and he got 3 million likes, but because he got his money. And,
how many likes? 3 million? How many likes?
Just about.
but because he got his money. And then before we go on, I told you, I remember we had this conversation. I said, it's championship or bust for the Phoenix Suns. You told me, nah. I told you make a
decision. That was a bad management decision.
You make a trade. You make a dynasty type trade because they got rid of all of their youth that they've been molding. That got them to got their name relevant again. You got rid of all of that for KD, and you didn't get what you want. So now somebody got to pay.
Somebody for 12 games. You didn't get up to me. There ain't got time to sell. I guess it's the way. Okay. I guess the way we done lately.
Somebody got to.
I guess. I mean, okay.
Somebody got to pay.
Okay.
But going back to Golden State, I agree with Big. I don't think Clay is a 40-minute guy anymore in the league. He goes and say, y'all can start me, but hey, I'm only going to run about 20, 50 minutes a game, and then you bring in some young studs behind me. And on the nights where I'm feeling it, you just leave me in there a little bit longer. And, every now and then I may rescue you if somebody's having a bad game. But I think that's what he does with that. I don't think you break it up. I think you do need to add some pieces because there's some people have some question marks on their name. What are you doing with Moody? What are you doing with Kuminga? What are you doing with a lot of these other players that are on the bench? Are they part of your future? If not, you need to start making some decisions on them. Who is your backup big man? You need a little bit more size. You need a little bit more athleticism. You need to kind of fill out your roster a little bit better. You don't have to replace everybody, but you do need to fill some gaps that you got and move forward.
The only person who will be safe in Golden State is Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins. Everybody else.
And Looney.
Looney
did not give you 20 rebounds a game.
And Looney. I said and Looney. And Looney. Them on the three say, hey, check this out, huh?
And you already paid Poole, so you got to include him in that.
I cut my loss. Sometimes I gotta catch an L. Sometimes you like to catch an L. Hey, Bell, I mean, you're gonna appreciate this statement, Bell. As much as the league try to change, as much as the league try to get finesse, I did the research. The big man still runs the show. Out of the last 5 years, every MVP was either, I'm gonna say Giannis is a center. He say power forward.
He's a 4.
He's
a 4. That's the big man.
Okay, 4 or 5. For the last 3 years, they've been centers. The most dominant position right now are centers. The more dominant players still in this Final Four are centers. So as much as the league want to change, the big man still runs the show. No?
Oh yeah. I mean,
big man still runs the show.
I would say you need a competent big man to win a championship. Now, if you have one of the best big men, then that's a plus. But you need a competent. Each of the but not counting Golden State because Steph Curry, they've all had a competent big man. LeBron, he had Kevin Love. He'll get you some rebounds. You had Giannis. Again, Curry last year. You had a competent big man and a competent. You need an all-around team is what's needed. You can't be no more heliocentric teams. You don't
need an all-around. You need some studs that's about to play defense.
Well, yeah, you need a stud and fill them out with good talent.
We down to the.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think every team in this Final Four has a good player, good to great player, Well, they all have one great player, some two, and they have good pieces that fit that great player.
So we're down to the final four. Have any picks changed? Who you got, Beth? You still going late? You going the late show to win? What you got?
I'm gonna ride the Lakers until they they're out. I'm gonna ride women to they're out.
That's 49-48 now. Is that
51,
correct?
51-48.
To me, they just shooting too many jump shots, and to me, they don't call no fouls on old boy.
Joker.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this, and I'm not hating on Joker. I think I mentioned it to Gary. I think I mentioned it to Quentin too. A lot of Joker's points, don't get it twisted. He put in work. He's nice. But a lot of his points are just big man points. You rebound right in front of the rim, you lay it right back up. That's textbook big man points. Now a lot of
question,
stuff.
you went upstairs. Now you went upstairs at halftime. Did you watch the rest of the game after halftime?
Well, not that one, but I don't see him play several times.
So
I mean, he does some extravagant things, but a lot of his points.
He was in.
I'm not saying he don't have it in his bag, Quentin. What I'm saying is a lot of his points was right up, especially the other game, was right in front of the rim. Nobody else rebounding but him. I mean, hell, if
what
he by himself, he doesn't make
you want to catch on the back. You want to get the rebound 360, dunk it with a layup.
Do you know why Shaq? Do you understand why Shaq only showed them so much a limited amount of respect? Do you understand why? It's because they don't go through anything and whatnot. Like Shaq actually went through a beating, and I'm using him because I think he was like the last one that just actually went through a beating. I feel like this: if Jokic had to play a Shaq caliber center on a nightly basis, or if he was during that time, I really 100% feel like if he felt a couple of bumps, a couple of knockdowns, knockarounds throughout the game, and I know it's different eras, I think his whole mindset and his whole game would change. What he feels now is they're like Nets. He's so much bigger than everybody. They're like Nets, so that's not bothering him. But if he had a body on him that's going to bruise him up, beat him up, I wonder if he can come out and play the same way every night.
Is that his fault?
No, it's not. No, we ain't blaming nobody.
I'm not making it anybody's fault.
We're making an analysis, sir. We ain't blaming him. He doing what he do. We're just making an analysis. What do you say, Play? What do you say, Playmaker?
I mean, I think you can say the same thing about 85%. You say the same thing about 85% of the people in the league. I think Anthony Davis, if you take somebody bumping him down the court and giving him a little elbow every now and then, he'll be standing by the perimeter. I don't think he wants that kind of lifestyle either. So I just think it's just a different league.
It is different league, but I bet you money, and I know we throw names out, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. But if that was a Tim Duncan, on this day and there, he'll win 10 championships because want nobody be able to defend it. You can't find nobody to defend it.
Hey, KG will love this day and time.
Want nobody to defend it. Yeah. But now he get so many texts though, man. Soon as he open his mouth, he'll be like Draymond. They be throwing him out of the game every time he walk on the floor. So, hey, let's go to the East, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say sad thing, not the sad thing, but the thing about it is, I really feel like the champion's coming out of the West because right now, Miami gonna manhandle Boston. I just feel like they're gonna manhandle them. I don't know what has happened. Jimmy Buckets done turned the whole team into unbeatable. I don't know, but they're gonna manhandle Boston and whatnot.
So I looked at that. I think Boston's more talented, but I think Miami's a little more hungrier, especially when your leader's that way. Then they're gonna follow the leader. But I don't think it'll be a cakewalk, B. I think Miami play defense, dude. I think the boys in the East play solid defense. I don't think either. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be no sweep for Denver nor LA. I think, man, in fact, I think it'll be a dog fight. Be honest with you.
I know.
I don't think you can easily call it. I don't think you can call it like that. What's your thing?
But the Boston situation got me kind of nervous because
that's cold.
Because
that's the code.
Looking at it, you know, I feel like, you know, I don't feel as though Brown is happy. And to be honest, Tatum, he needs Brown. Brown is like a relief for him when the defense is on him or he's not clicking. Brown is getting off. So you take that away from the team. Period. Who do he have to rely on? Don't say Marcus Smart to me. Please do not say Marcus.
No, you can't. You can. If Brown leave, you got to replace Brown with another offensive stud. Tatum need another offensive juggernaut on the team to be successful. And Smart is not that guy.
Tatum gonna be successful. He's shown that. But
I don't know now. Now I'll say I don't know if he's shown that. He has not been good. He has not been good in this playoff this season. He hasn't been good in this playoffs until the last 10 minutes of Game 6.
Who?
Tatum.
He wasn't good until the fourth quarter of Game 6.
Speak on that play. Speak on that play. I let him play. He'll play until the jump on. Please speak on that.
I believe Tatum. I can see how you can say that, because Tatum is not the type of player that dominates from beginning to end. He dominates in his spots, and I believe he does that as it's a team effort. He's not like Curry, who's dominating from beginning to end, or dominating from beginning to end. He understands that, you know, it's him, it's Rodman, Malcolm, whatever his name is, it's Brown. He's allowed a space for them to all kind of get off, and if he's not hitting his shot, he can take a second. He's very comfortable letting everybody else get off. Whereas I think we're used to seeing somebody just dominate from beginning to end, but that doesn't mean that he can't dominate from beginning to end.
We get on a few players for not demanding the ball in those moments, or playing for the other team, so the rest of the team gets. We get on a few players for doing that. Now we either need to stop getting on the other players doing that, or get on Tatum just as much as everybody else.
But yeah, I agree. You got to spread the wealth, Quinn. But look at this last 6 games. Last 6 games as of May 5th. You know I'm a stats guy. I know you got to go to the stats. 27-10 May 5th. 24-18 May. I'm gonna do the right one. Jason Taylor. 24-18 May the 7th. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. May 9th, 36-10. May 10th, 19-8. May 14th, 51-13. And
so
May 17th, 30.
Let's talk about what I was talking about. Game 6.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. 30-7. Now, I don't know how you want to get there, but when you look at those stats, those are dominant stats.
Now, first off, I specifically said what were his field goal percentages for a lot of those games? Because specifically that 19-8 before the 50 game, he went 0 of 14 before he made his first shot.
I mean, I understand. I mean, shooters are always gonna get cold and hot. But at the end, but at the end of the game, he's still up with 51. You know, what you talking about? With 19. Now, I'm not saying he gonna. I understand you want to put context behind it, but numbers, stats are stats. What do you think, Bell?
Say it again.
I said his numbers are. I said I know people want to put content behind the numbers, but his stats kind of speak for themselves. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, the stats don't lie. That's black and white.
The stats kind of speak for themselves. I don't know.
That can certainly lie. You only said he went 19-8 and didn't say he started the game 0-14 and didn't make his first field goal until the fourth quarter.
But yeah, that's fine. But when they look at
in that fourth quarter, they were already winning. He just put the game away.
But Quinn, what I'm saying though, sir, once you tally up at the end of the day, I mean the stats are the stats. Am I missing some play? Am I missing
it? I think what he's trying to say is games in which he had 25 points times. And I think he's trying to say that, you got to take that in consideration. Tatum, being that he is the starter, he should get the majority of the shots. And because he gets the majority of the shots, end up being close to the scoring table. I also agree with you with that game 6, even though the game was starting to shift toward Boston. He took like 8 or 9 shots in a row, and that's to me is what you look for your superstars to do. At the end of the game, take the game over. I can't say he was demanding the ball, but the ball kept ending up in his hands. For the team, believe that he could take him to the finish line, and I think that's all you can ask for your superstar is in the fourth quarter, if the game is close, to give the ball to your superstars to bring home the victory.
Well, okay, so we down our last 4 guys. We about right. I think everybody's still going with the West. I want to go to the State, but I believe AD still can make it happen. I'm coming your way. I'm coming your way with your final thoughts. Your thoughts. We're gonna start with you, Q. What you got going on?
Oh, see, that won't give me my thoughts. I was gonna talk straight to playmaker. Because 2 weeks ago,
well, talk to him then.
2 weeks ago, he said he will bring 20 power forwards who are better than Chris Webber.
Okay. Here we go.
Is this my fault? So, well, I'm sorry. Were you done with your point? Your last thought?
No, go ahead. It's on you now.
Okay.
You do last thoughts after that.
Okay, so because I'm glad we're doing this at the end, because I didn't want this show to be about all the players that are better than Chris Webber, because I don't have anything against Chris Webber. I don't. The man doesn't put food on my table nor take food off my table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through 10 straight names, hopefully uninterrupted. And then at the end of those first 10 names, all I want to hear is an amen. And then we'll take
Hold on. We can't let you go 10 uninterrupted.
I was going to mute myself and let him go 10.
We're going to give you 3 and pause.
Well,
we'll go 3 pause and evaluate.
I was going to mute myself and let him go. Let him run him off.
Okay, 5. You can't run 10. Okay, you go 5 and give me a pause so we can see where you at.
Nah,
I believe these 10 I don't think there's any discussion around these 10, but I'll pause after each one if you feel necessary. But I don't think there's any discussion.
Continue, okay? You got the flow.
Number one, Tim Duncan. Number 1, Tim Duncan. Pause. Karl Malone.
Pause. You go. Okay. Go ahead. You go ahead. No question. Go ahead.
Watch.
Go ahead.
Kevin Garnett. Kevin McHale. Charles Barkley. I would throw Bob Petty out there, but I know we got a certain age range, so I'm gonna skip him. Dirk Nowitzki, Dennis Rodman, Now they list James Worthy as a power forward, so I got to put James Worthy out there. I'm skipping some names because I know y'all don't know all these players. They're from back in the day, so just give me a time. Just give me 1 minute. Paul Gasol. Now we can have discussion.
Okay, first of all, don't ever put Paul Gasol on nothing.
On nobody list.
Nothing.
On nobody list.
That dude don't need. Huh?
We're talking about Chris Webber.
Right.
Wait a minute.
This is gonna be funny. For the sake of time, because I agree with you.
For the sake of time, let's just do it like this. I remember watching this movie. They said, if we even, I'm leaving. So if Chris Webber is not dominating Paul Gasol, then we gotta say they're even and keep on going. Because Chris Webber now, Paul Gasol.
Now with Paul Gasol, I actually agree.
Yes.
But I do think James Worthy was a 3,
yes,
not a 4.
Chris Webber was better than Paul Gasol. But I can tell you who else on your list. That's the final.
So the list, I didn't. Well, first I said, let me go out here and figure this out on my own, and I just Googled it, and the list that I came up with had Chris Webber at number 30, and this was done 2010.
Jesus. Oh, that's not even with Giannis there.
Yes, it doesn't have Giannis. It doesn't have Anthony Davis. It doesn't have anybody that's in the league over the last 23 years. But we can continue. Paul Gasol. Oh, go ahead.
No, if it's 2010, that means that's before Dirk's reign.
But you got to
before the reign.
You got to take Dirk off.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to take Paul or Powell, whatever his name is. You got to take both of them off.
Okay. There's plenty more, sir. I'm not fazed by that. Amari Stoudemire.
Take them off.
No, take them off.
No, nah.
No, sir.
So you telling me you got the number 1 draft pick, and it's Amari Stoudemire, and it's Chris Webber, and you're gonna take Amari Stoudemire?
No, sir.
I think Amari did. I think Amari did benefit.
I think your list about to get watered down, sir.
Wait a minute. This list, they have Amari at 17. They haven't even talked about Chris Webber yet. And this is not something that I created. This is what this is the Bleacher Report. But I'll continue.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. But that's even funny because Chris Webber is in the Hall of Fame and Amari isn't. That's funny in itself.
Sometimes it's based off who you playing with versus your individual. We can continue because a lot of people got a ride to the Hall of Fame because they were paired up with some special individuals. But we can continue. Chris Bosh.
No way.
Okay. Now I got. You not Chris is a no?
Chris Bosh is a no.
How many rings does Chris
has 2
compared to Chris Bosh?
2-0.
You didn't know.
I mean,
you didn't know Chris Bosh was going to bouncing between Dwayne Wade and LeBron James' house and being their butlers 6 months out the year at each of their homes.
I mean, you talk about jumping on the
being their new boy. Chris Bosh was whatever. He's the bridesmaid.
Now Chris Bosh did do a lot in Toronto. Now I don't know how many people actually watch Toronto games,
he didn't
but
do as much as Chris Webber did in Sacramento.
You know what he did in Toronto? He made that stupid YouTube video begging to be an All-Star.
So wait a minute. Let's be honest. Let's be honest for a minute. Who was the best person on that Kings team when Chris Webber was there? Who was the number 1 option?
Peja Stojakovic.
Stojakovic.
Who was the number 2 option?
Peja was the first. No, who was the first? Was it Peja?
Mike Bibby was there. Mike Bibby was there.
I'm gonna be honest.
Jason Williams.
I looked at that team as by committee, to be honest.
And you know what? Credit? Chris Webber was a superstar by committee, but you don't want to give Chris Bosh credit.
Oh, ooh.
No. Chris Webber was
superstar by committee is crazy.
This dude was not a superstar by committee. This dude was a superstar when he walked in Michigan. He was already a star. The 2 years he spent in Michigan, he was already a star.
We just said he was the third option on his team.
I didn't say he was the third option.
I didn't say he was the third option. He was the option on his team. Who was after that? After Chris Webber, you got the sidekick.
Yeah,
but Chris Webber was the man for that.
Vlade Divac was the center of that team.
But that was the Divac's career, I do believe now.
So you really gonna take Chris Bosh before you take Chris Webber?
Hey, let's go to the fans. Over the Top Podcast Sports. Go to the Facebook page, guys. Who do you take, Chris Webber or Chris Bosh?
Now I'm thinking. Does Chris Webber get that rebound? Does Chris Webber get that rebound? You only said 5 we agreed on.
Yeah, is there any more honorable mentions? I think you better get it down now. I don't think
Well, I got a couple. I went back to look at Chris Bosh's stats. Now this one, I'm just going to throw the name out here, and then I'm going to let y'all cry, and then we're going to move on. Carlos Boozer.
Oh my God.
Hey,
oh my goodness.
Rasheed.
Hey guys, and like always,
he said He's Sean Marion.
The Bleacher Report put this together. Not me. Buck Williams.
Both of them were in 4s.
Did you say Buck Williams?
And now we get to number 29. This is the Bleachers Report. Now we get to number 29, Chris Webber. This is not me. This is not me.
Now, he said Boozer, Rashad Lewis, Sean Marion. He said someone else I didn't hear.
Go to the Bleacher Report.
Whoever wrote that report, they must went to Ohio State since the boy went to Michigan. He has a bad language with that. That's horrible list, dude. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Hey,
that's horrible.
Report, do 50 top power forwards. It's a 2010 report. It has your boy Chris Webber at 29. And I thought Horace Grant should have been above him, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
Well, you might put Harvey Grant too. Him and his brother. Him and his brother. Hey, Bell, your response, Bell. Your response.
I am not gonna respond to that. I will give my final thought.
You're just final thought, Bell.
Wait a minute, Anthony Mason.
Who? Yeah, but hey, you better get the mute button, sir. We about to put the mute button.
Larry Johnson.
Anthony Mason.
Larry Johnson.
Gary Coleman.
Oh, now Derek may
Stop it. I will say this. To me, when you talk about Chris Webber, you have to put him in the conversation of Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett. He has to be in the elite conversation. No matter if the guy won a championship or not, he was an elite power forward. He did his job. I feel like he really did. When you look at these other power forwards, starting with Dirk, starting with Powell, Amari Stoudemire, all those guys, man, they're behind him. you have to put him in the elite. I'm sorry, you really do. He wasn't a slouch, man. The dude was a baller. He was a straight up baller. As far as my last word, I know things look crazy, and I'm probably real hard when it comes to Ja, and I'm going back to that for my final thought. But at the end of the day, I just want athletes to understand that coming behind them are other great athletes, and they got kids, and they got young men that are following every footstep, buying their shoes and all that. And it's just a way that you carry yourself. It's how you carry yourself at this point. I cannot say stress more. What you do behind closed doors in your home, that is your business. But when you choose to pull out a phone, and I know he did not choose to pull out a phone, but when it's put on social media, you're opening it to the world. But when you present yourself to the public, you should be top notch and know that there's a kid that you can either influence the right way or the wrong way. And your actions really do matter. That's on me.
Great thought. Q, final thoughts, brother.
So that we talked about this earlier, and we said basketball players are not role models. So Bear's correct, but also at the same time, if you're a parent saying, "Oh, Ja, you can't be doing this when you got children following," you are the parent, not Ja. That was pick up for him. What I really want to say was there's a player in the playoffs right now averaging 31, 14, and 11, and he's not getting the credit he deserves. And that is the center, number 15 on Denver. With that being said, Lakers in 6.
You are really on Joker, sir. But
I said Lakers. I finished up with Lakers in 6, but whatever. Lakers in 6.
Playmaker, get on mute. You got your last word, sir.
So I apologize to Chris Webber's family, friends. It was nothing personal. It was just the Bleacher report that was out here. And I do think he was elite. I think he was one of the best power forwards who ever sit in the analyst chair and do commentary. But I just don't think he's the top 25 ever. We can revisit the list when we have more time. And I will say that's my final word.
The game of sports teaches us a lot of life lessons. This goes out to our parents, guys. And last I've had 2 children, both of them was in different things. My son was in sports, my daughter more in dance. But the competition level is a competition level. But when we talk about role models, guys, when you at these little league games, and I know it gets heated, but guys, parents, you the real role models. How if you at a little league game, and I understand just talking back and chopping it up. I understand the talking back and forth sometimes, get a head. But you out there fighting referees or umpires. What message that sending to your child? That's number one. Number two, if a child 8, 9 years old, let them play every sport. Let's not get the point where we isolating children at the younger age where you only playing basketball forever or you only play football forever. Give them the opportunity to expand their horizons. Get them opportunity to do them. Hey, get them in different sports. Get them in lacrosse. Get them in golf. Get them in tennis. Get them in something. But keep your kids active. Be that role model for them, and I think it'll work out at the end. Hey guys, another great show. We're down to the final 4. And like always, guys, may your next move be the game changer. Good night.